Alvin, we talked with you last week about what needed to happen for the offense to finally get clicking, to see it come to fruition, and for you to pick up over 70 yards on the ground. What was working well with the offensive line and finding the gaps?
It started with the O line, and I think everything. Their effort kind of got lost in the shuffle because they don't get the glorious jobs of catching balls and scoring touchdowns. But it started up front with them. They did a good job. Overall, just protecting Derek, giving them some time, and then opening up some holes in the run game. So it was beautiful to have it come together like that.
Is Ryan Ramczyk, you mentioned the offensive line, one of the more underrated guys? I mean, the amount of times that you ran around the right side and he just opened it up for you.
Yeah, Ram. I think he just underrated, not by skill, but just because he's so calm. Like, he don't say nothing, he don't say too much, he don't celebrate, he don't talk shit on the field. He just do his job. So he's one of the best, if not the best, right tackles. Obviously I've had the pleasure of playing with him my whole career, and he's a great dude, great player. And when he's out there, you got confidence in running to that right side.
When you have a new quarterback that's trying to figure out the play calling, trying to figure out the offense, and just trying to get his feet under him, how big is it for Derek to have a game like that?
Oh man, it's huge. I know he's itching to have everything come together at once, and it takes time. A lot of things got to happen. Well, protection got to get up to par, and it was there last week. The running game was solid last week. Receivers did a better job of being where they needed to be for Derek, and I think it's still some opportunities where he's like, man, I still got some more, and that's just him regardless. So even if he threw for 500 yards that game, he would have been looking for 6. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's good for him to have a game like that, but I know he's looking for more, and it's just important that all of us around him do our job so he can accelerate his path to understanding everything.
We talk about confidence with Derek Carr. How big was this for confidence for Pete Carmichael, who kind of knew his back was up against the wall a little bit?
I wouldn't. I think.
From the media.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's a lot of media, and I think it's a lot of assumptions going on outside of the building, and basically kind of pushing the narrative that in here we hate Pete, or we want Pete out of here. It's not that. We just I think just like me to DeMario, or me to Mike, or me to Ram, or like. I expect them to be on their A game, right? So it's the same thing with us and Pete. We expect Pete to be on his A game, and we expect him to, hit his head on the ceiling as far as potential goes. So we know what type of play caller he can be, So we just want him to do that. I think when you see guys frustrated, and you see guys kind of like, with that look on their face, and they saying, "Oh, these dudes are pounding." It's like, man, trust me, I know our whole playbook in and out. So when Pete don't call that shit, I'm like, damn, Pete, like, and that's the same thing with Olave and Sheed and Mike. We are, and even DC, like, we like, man, we got so much, and then we got the playmakers to make those plays come alive. So I think we just got to go over, like I said on Sunday after the game, just nudge Pete a little bit, like, hey man, we still got this, and he's thinking it. I think he gets to those calls, but. Just like, DC goes over and like, I like this, or I go over and be like, I like this, or the O-line like this, just to get those calls up. So I think it was good for Pete. He's our guy, So definitely want to give him more games like that to get his confidence up.
You mentioned a few years ago that Sean would maybe let you have some voice on the sideline as far as play calling. Are you still having that with Pete?
Yeah, like I said, it's collaborative, So I think when it's a field thing. So we're out there, we might have plays that we're running or we didn't get to yet, or something that we might like, and we go to, and I might go over to Pete and be like, hey, what you think about, such and such, or I go talk to DC. We kind of huddle up a little bit and talk about some things, and then go to Pete and just put it in his ear. As long as it get called, it's his idea. I don't care. But yeah, I think more of that, just more voice, more guys seeing what they talking about and expressing what they feel and what they want to see. And I think it helps a lot because Pete can't see everything, what I'm saying, and we're on the field, so we see it, we feel it, and I'm not scared to go over to Pete and be like, man, look, I like this, let's call this. And he's not opposed to it.
Real quick, last one. You mentioned that you and Mike kind of took onus in the locker room of like, hey, we got to get to the playmakers. We are the playmakers. Not only were you guys doing that on the field, but was there any like verbal communication with Derek and the team last week trying to take kind of onus?
I think everybody from as far as leaders go on the offense, from Mike to Derek to, even got Eric and some of the O-line, like we know where we need to be at, and we know what's unacceptable. And a lot of the things that have been happening have been unacceptable from the standard that we're used to and accustomed to. So, I think obviously me and Mike get, the headline of like, oh, Mike Thomas had a message for the team or Alvin Kamara had a message for the team. And guys are talking. DC has messages. Eric has the same message. He holds the O-line to a certain standard. Everybody, I think, wants to be operating at a gold standard. So, it takes everybody. But, Mike, and I love what Mike's doing because he's becoming more vocal, and it's cool to see because, I've been seeing him all. Yeah, it's different, and I think he's just realizing how much influence he has. And then, I know I pick my spot, so when I got to say something, usually I come in with the tough ones. But, it's just fun because everybody's, I think, realizing the potential that we had to be good. So, we got to pull it out every chance we get.